A tree is for, and these little dots right here mean that there's more to come. Dot, dot, dot. This book is called A Tree is for, dot, dot, dot. And what do we think it's going to be all about? Maybe it tells us what trees are for. On the cover, what is this little boy using the tree for? You're right, I think he's using it to play hide and go seek. And the cover of the book, this is the cover, tells us information about what's inside. And usually the picture gives us a little sample or an example. So this boy is giving us one example of what a tree is for. A tree is for hiding behind or playing hide and go seek. And here's the author's name. And there's only one name listed here, Judith Bauer Stamper. And that means that she wrote the words and drew the pictures. Okay, here we go. A tree is for... Oh, here's the title page. And look, they give us another sample, an example of what trees could be used for. These boys are sitting on a tree log that has been chopped down. And there's the author's name again. A tree is for... Look what these people are using the tree for. What are trees for? They are for giving us a cool spot to have a picnic. Trees are for shade, dot, 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 and much, much more. Now look at this here. You see how there's a question mark? See that? That means that this is a question. What are trees for? And when I get to the end of this line, I come back and start at the beginning of the next line. Therefore giving us a cool place, a cool spot to have a picnic, period. That little dot is a period. That's just a statement. And then I come back. Trees are for shade. See how they're sitting in the shade? It's keeping the sun off of them. Dot, dot, dot. And much, much more. That's an exclamation point. Exclamation point means that this is an exciting thing to say. Oh, how exciting. Trees are for giving us shade and much, much more. Let's find out what that much, much for is. A tree is for having fun. Look how they're having fun. My swing hangs from a tree in my backyard. When my dad pushes me, I fly high into the sky. Ooh, look what these boys are using a tree for. We climb up to play in our secret tree house. A tree house can be a pirate ship, a clubhouse, or even a spaceship. Our family goes camping in the deep, dark woods. At night, we tell spooky stories around the campfire. Trees are great when you're playing hide and seek. Hey, we saw this picture on the cover, didn't we? See there's the same picture was there. That was featured or used as a sample. Don't peek before you're done counting. There's that exclamation point again, shows excitement. A tree is for dot, dot, dot. Delicious food. So see those little dots, like there's more to come is what those dots mean. Like wait for it, there's a surprise. A tree is for, ta-da, delicious food. That's what those dots do. Apples, oranges, bananas, and pears all grow on trees. Have you ever picked a snack off of a fruit tree? Looks like this little girl's getting an apple. This little boy's getting a snack from a tree. Maple syrup comes from a tree too. Just catch the sap in a bucket to make sugar maple treats. So see, look, he tapped a little spout into the trunk of the maple tree, and the sap spills into the bucket. And that sap is what we use to make syrup. syrup for our pancakes, and little maple candies. This is something, these trees are in cold climates. We don't have them down in the south where it's warm. See the snow on the ground? And see how he's dressed in warm clothes? That's because this is something from up north, maple syrup. We get it from Canada, and we get it from the northern part of our country, up where it's cold. Here's something that comes from warm weather. Let's see. Look out below! Look, there's the exclamation point again. Watch out! Nuts fall to the ground under hickory, pecan, and walnut trees. Squirrels like nuts too. So hurry up and pick the nuts you want. Before the squirrels chew on them all. Well, he's got to have some nuts too for the winter time. Here's some special nuts. Now look, these nuts are growing on the ends of the branches up where the leaves are in the crown of the tree. But these nuts are growing on the trunk of the tree. Did you know that chocolate comes from a tree? The beans of the cacao tree are used to make frosting for this delicious cupcake. See there? These are cacao beans. It's chocolate. And you open up these big red pods, red and orange pods, and there's lots of little gooey seeds in there. You dry them out, and then you roast them really slow, and the shells will crack off. And you crack off the shells that are inside, on the nuts that are inside of this big nut, and then you can mash those up with milk and sugar and make chocolate. So this is cacao. It's a cacao tree. Oh, here's something else. A tree is for building houses. All over the world, people live in houses made from trees. This house in Peru sits on a riverbank. Look at the stilts. Wooden stilts keep the house high and dry. Wooden is made of wood. Wooden means made of wood. And wood, just the word wood by itself, W-O-O-D, wood is what we get when we cut down a tree or we cut down the branches and things. Look at this house here. Some people in Kenya, in Africa, build this round house out of sticks. Its thatched roof looks like a hat. Look at it. It's a house that's round. Look at that. And that's made out of sticks and parts of trees. This houseboat is made of bamboo. It floats through the backwaters of southern India. Now, boys and girls, did you know that bamboo is actually not a tree, but it's as strong as a tree? Bamboo is a kind of grass, and it's as tall as a tree and very, very strong. Strong enough to make this houseboat. This cabin is made from logs, cut from big branches and small tree trunks. Long ago, many Americans grew up in log cabins, including Abraham Lincoln. So Americans, why would we live in log cabins? Well, we have a lot of land in our country that is good for growing trees. And so since trees grow here, we use that as a resource to build houses with. People still use trees to build new houses. At a lumber mill, people cut tree logs into wooden boards of different lengths and widths. So see, here's a log going in, and this is the trunk of a tree, and they're cutting it down. See how it's flat there on the top? They've cut it down to make one board, then they're going to cut it again and make another board, and then another board. They could even cut it off right here so it's not round right there. And then look where these boards go. These are the boards that came from this tree trunk. Carpenters nail the boards together and put the house's frame, put it together. Next, they add a roof and walls. They finish off the house with wooden floors. There's that word wooden again, made of wood. And wooden doors. When the house is done, a family moves into their new home. Look at that. Their steps are made of wood. Their floor is made of wood. And the wall frame and everything is all made of wood. Wood that comes from a tree. Oh, a tree is for making all kinds of things. This guitar is made from a soft wood. Oh, so some wood is hard and some wood is soft. It vibrates with music that makes you tap your feet. See, a guitar is made from a wood that's softer, so it vibrates and makes our music. Now, this baseball bat, do you think that would have to be a hard wood or a soft wood? I think you're right. It better be hard if it's going to hit that baseball. This baseball bat is made from a hard wood that's so strong that it can hit a home run. Wooden, there's the word wooden again, wood, wooden, made of wood. Wooden canoes are lightweight and they're easy to paddle. You see, it floats on the water. Did you know that rubber also comes from trees? The tires on this bike came from the sap of a rubber tree. Remember, the sap of the maple tree makes maple syrup? Well, here you have the sap of the rubber tree makes bicycle tires and other tires for your car and things. Hey, pick up your pencil, it says. It says, pick up your pencil and take a look. Look at that. Look at that. It's made from a tree, too. That's wood. My pencil is wooden. Even paper is made from trees. Paper factories turn wood into pulp and press it into paper. This book started out as a tree. Look at that. So this very book that we're reading started off as a tree. A tree is for ... making our planet a better place to live. How does it do that? Well, trees clean our air. When their leaves make food, the leaves take in carbon dioxide that we breathe, and they put oxygen back in, and we breathe oxygen. So she breathes out carbon dioxide, that kind of air. The tree takes the carbon dioxide and puts back out oxygen, and she breathes the oxygen, and the tree takes the carbon dioxide and goes out carbon dioxide. Tree takes in carbon dioxide, puts out oxygen. Oxygen goes into her. She puts out carbon dioxide, and look, it just goes around and around and around. So trees are really good for us. They help us get the oxygen that we need to breathe. And trees help the environment in many more ways. Their big leafy branches keep houses cool in hot days, and their long, strong roots help hold the soil in place. See, all that soil would just wash away with that water right there if it wasn't for the root holding it, the root of the tree. And little animals can live in those roots. Look at that. Best of all, trees make our planet beautiful. What would our world be like without trees? And there's that question mark again. It's asking a question. What would our world be like without trees? So I want to ask you, what are some things that we saw in this book that we can use a tree for? If we think back over what we saw, getting food and syrup, different kinds of food. And we can use houses for playing and having fun in them. We use them for pencils and paper and making things that are wooden, like the boat is wooden and the bat and the guitar are wooden, and building houses. Yes, that's out of wood. So remember some things that trees are for, and I'm going to ask you to name 3 things that you can remember that a tree is for. A tree is for ... and complete the sentence for me. Okay, see you soon.